So, in life sciences, we spend years mastering the what: molecules, mechanisms, endpoints, biomarkers. But in the real industry, the trial lives or dies on the who. Here's a blunt truth: you can have a breakthrough therapy, but if you can't get the right patients into the study on time, the science doesn't move. And this isn't rare. More than 80% of clinical trials fail to meet their enrollment timelines. Meeting the study gets extended, more sites gets added, and the plan falls apart. Every delay costs money. A 2024 industry cost analysis estimates trials can burn around $40,000 per day on average in direct operational costs, with phase 3 even higher. And here's what students need to understand early: recruitment is not a support activity, recruitment is the critical path. Because in clinical research, empty exam rooms don't just slow the study, they stop it. To understand how recruitment works today, you need to understand how different it was in the beginning. When you look at the past, especially the MRC streptomycin trial that happened between 1947-48, in those early days, recruitment was almost entirely doctor driven. A classic example is the Medical Research Council's streptomycin trial for pulmonary tuberculosis, conducted in 1947-48, one of the earliest major randomized controlled trials. There was no public advertisement, no digital outreach, no patient recruitment partners. Patients were recruited directly from TB hospitals, where clinicians already had diagnosed patients under care. Doctors identified eligible patients, enrolled them, and treatment assignment was controlled using sealed allocation methods. So enrollment couldn't be manipulated. That was recruitment back then: hospital based, clinician led, and dependent on who was already inside the system. Now compare that to the modern trials like the Sprint. Now, Sprint studied whether more aggressive blood pressure control could reduce major cardiovascular events. From a recruitment standpoint, the biggest difference is this: recruitment was no longer find patients and enroll them, it became a structured performance system. In that Sprint trial, you don't recruit everyone with high blood pressure. You recruit a very specific patient profile that matches strict trial criteria. And Sprint wasn't one hospital running a study, it was multiple sites working under a centralized trial plan, which means recruitment becomes operational. Every site needs training, every site needs screening workflows, and every site needs performance tracking. And the moment recruitment slows, leadership has to step in and intervene. Because in real trials, recruitment is a funnel. It looks something like this: identify, pre screen, screen, consent, and then enroll. And the second you start screening, you start losing people. Some are ineligible, some don't want the time commitment, some agree at first and then disappear before even signing the consent form. Modern studies track these losses obsessively because they know a painful truth. Even today, many sites still underperform. So, a well known industry benchmark suggests around 20% of sites enroll zero patients, absolutely zero. So, modern recruitment isn't difficult because teams are lazy. It's difficult because the system is so complex, the criteria are so strict, and even we forget about the patients who have real lives. To succeed in this industry, you have to stop seeing recruitment as a single event. It's a 6-stage life cycle, and as a professional, you are the architect of this journey. It starts with feasibility and planning. This is the data search. Before a single pill is made, we ask, does the patient population even exist? If you're looking for a rare genetic mutation, you don't just guess. You scan global databases to find where these patients exactly live. Number 2, site readiness. Think of it this as something like setting the stage. A site like Apollo Hospitals or Fortis might be selected, But if the staff isn't trained or legal contracts aren't signed, the site is effectively a ghost town. Number three, outreach. Now, this is where the story reaches the patient. It's no longer just a poster on a wall, it's targeted digital campaigns, collaborations with patient advocacy groups, and scanning EHRs, electronic health records, to find a needle in the haystack. Number four, the filter, the screening and consent part. Now, this is the choke point. Imagine 100 people are interested, but after reading 20-page informed consent, running blood tests, only 5 qualify out of those 100. This is where trials fail. By being very strict, but I understand they have to be. Number fifth, enrollment and randomization. This is the milestone. The patient is officially in, but the work doesn't stop here. It goes on to the step number 6, that is retention. Now, this is recruitment protection. If a patient drops out of because the hospital is too far or visits are too long, you haven't just lost a person, you have lost the entire data. Retention is the invisible half of patient recruitment. Coming to stakeholders, who owns the outcome? If you work in clinical research, you will sit in one of these 4 seats. Let's look at who they are and what they actually do. Number 1, the sponsor. Think of global giants like Pfizer or Novartis or Indian leaders like Sun Pharma and Dr. Reddy's. They fund the trial. They own the risk. If recruitment fails, they lose millions in patient time and capital. Their role is strategic. They design the rules. Number 2, the CROs. Companies like IQVIA, Paraxel, or even Icon. This is where most graduates start. They step into the clinical research side of the things. The CRO is the operations manager. They are hired by the sponsor, which we discussed earlier, to make sure the sites are actually hitting their numbers. If a site is slow, the CRO is the one that steps in to fix it. Third, the site. Now, this could be called as a frontline. This is the hospital, places like Tata Memorial or AIMS. Here, the principal investigator or the PI, the lead doctor, and the study coordinator are the only ones who actually talk to the patients directly. They are the patient-facing side. They aren't managing data, they are managing human beings. And here comes the fourth, the vendors, or could be called as specialists. These are the support teams. Companies like Antidote or Clarinus specialize in one thing: finding patients. They run the Facebook ads, they provide travel support like booking an Uber for a patient, or they run call centers to pre-screen leads. In short, sponsors dream it, CROs manage it, sites do it, and vendors scale it. So going on, let's talk about real world challenges. You might wonder, why is this still so hard? Could be many reasons. Number 1, protocol complexity. We create unicorn criteria looking for patients who fit every rule but have no other health issues. That's very hard. Number 2, patient burden. Trial often comes as a second job for patients. It's not a priority for them. If it's too many visits, too much travel, they drop off. Third, competition. Multiple companies are often fighting for the same 50 patient at the same top tier hospital. So these 3 reasons are why it is so hard for patients to stick on to the trial and for all of these stakeholders to retain them. Let's jump to the future side. You'll hear a lot of hype around AI, but in clinical research, AI isn't a magic wand. It's a precision tool designed to fix the leaks in the recruitment funnel. The leaks which we talked about earlier in the video. First, AI is solving the identification problem. Now, in the past, a study coordinator at a site like Apollo or Max Healthcare would spend weeks manually checking patient files. Today, we have natural language processing, that is NLP. These language models plus AI capability can read through thousands of unstructured doctor notes, lab reports in seconds to find that one needle in a haystack patient who fits the trial's criteria exactly. Second, AI is fixing feasibility. Now, before a company like Sun Pharma even picks up a hospital, they use predictive analytics. Now, instead of just trusting a doctor's promise to find patients, AI looks at years of historical data and local disease trends to predict exactly how many patients a site will actually enroll. It stops us from betting on sites that will eventually enroll zero patients. Third, AI is tackling the screen failure rate. Before the trial even begins, AI can run a simulated trial, kind of a virtual trial, against millions of real world healthcare records. If the AI shows that criteria are so strict that 95% of the people will fail screening, the sponsor can fix the protocol before they even waste millions of dollars. And finally, AI is stopping the quiet killer, that is attrition. Behavioral AI can now track engagement patterns. If a patient starts checking the trial app less often or misses a minor data entry, the AI flags them as high dropout risk. This allows the CRO to step in and support that patient before they disappear from the study. So the direction is clear. Recruitment is moving from being site dependent to being system assisted. AI doesn't replace the human connection at the site. It ensures that humans are focused on the right patients at the right time. If you're watching this as a student or a fresh graduate, the massive numbers we discussed, the millions of dollars, and the global funnels might feel very distant for you. But here's a professional reality you will face on day one. The entire global system depends on the work you do at the ground level. When you are a clinical research coordinator, verifying a single informed consent or a CTA tracking a site's screening log, you aren't just doing paperwork. You are the one stopping the leaks in that $1 billion funnel. You are the person ensuring that a patient doesn't just join a trial, but stays in it. The industry doesn't just need people who can memorize a textbook. It needs professionals who understand that recruitment is a human process managed with scientific precision. When you walk into your first interview at a CRO or a hospital, don't just talk about your degree, talk about your operational mindset. Show them that you understand that science only moves as fast as the recruitment funnel allows. Master these 6 stages that we discussed, respect the patient's journey, and take your place on the critical path. Hit that like button if you find this video insightful, and thank you for watching. See you on the next one.
Visit us today, www.clinilaunchresearch.in.